Alright, I am live right now. Hello fellow viewers and welcome to my stream. Tonight we're gonna hunt for shiny Beldum, and let me tell you, I couldn't really wait for that one because I really want a good shiny Metagross later. I also bought a pop filter for my microphone. Hopefully that will make the quality a bit better. Shiny Rayquaza is early as always. How you doing? James Carson, I'm going to be about an hour late. Hey, no problem. I'm always happy if people show up and come at all, even if it's just for a couple of minutes. May RNG bless thee. Thank you, human name, and also hello. How you doing? I just came from I'm a Blissey's stream. I think I do have kind of overlapping schedules with him. Not as good if I want to watch his stuff. He also does fun streams. Maybe when I'm done with the stream, we could raid him again. He appeared to really like that. Right, so the Beldum that I'm talking about is in this city. I think it's Algatia in French, but I think it's Moss Deep City in English. You have to be in this city. After you beat the Elite Four, you go into this house, and there's a Pokeball here. And that Pokeball contains Beldum, or in French, Teral. It's level 5 and it only knows one Bélier, which I think is Body Slam. There's there's Body Check and Body Slam in German, and sometimes the translations get a bit confusing. The translations for the attacks, sometimes also for natures. Obviously, I don't want a blue one, I want a silver one. One of the... I think this might be one of the most favorite or loved shinies ever, at least the Metagross, because that one won on my community tab on my channel. That one won against 3 Regis, so 3 legendaries, which I understand, honestly. That shiny just looks really good. Right, so if you want to RNG this, you're gonna need obviously the 2 programs, Pokéfinder and Eontimer. I'm good, I'm currently looking for a good horse in Minecraft. Good luck for your horse. Your horse hunting, I am shiny hunting. Right, so the delay for the Ruby Beldum is 167 frames. We want a shiny, doesn't matter which one. Star Square, I think I'm gonna get mostly star shinies anyway. So I click generate. And this is what I'm talking about. This frame right here. It's frame 7493. Which gives me an adamant nature, which is already one of the best natures you could have for Metagross. But not only that, it has 31 IVs in attack, so perfect attack stat, perfect defense. Special attack is also very good, although I'm not gonna use that. Now special defense is pretty bad with 6, but then again speed is perfect with 31. And hidden power ground isn't too bad of a hidden power type to have. So I'm definitely going with this frame because all the others do not have nearly as good IVs as this one. So I can actually use it in competitive and post game. It's already written here. There we go. That is the frame that I'm looking for, and let's hope for the best. Let's start. Okay, for some reason I cannot hear the Eontimer? Oh, that's not good. Usually when I need to close it first and then check. Why do these programs always have problems? It did work before, just like it always does. Hang on, I'll fix that before we stream. Ah, there we go. Now it's working like it should. Alright, let's start. Can't wait to get that one. And maybe you've noticed this Wednesday I'm going to do the Wild Wednesday. That's when I'm gonna hunt wild random shinies in Emerald that I haven't caught before. And yeah, there's a lot of shinies on that list. Let's see how many I can get this Wednesday. But tonight's gonna be Beldum. And the Beldum is generated after you click yes with the last text ball that asks you, do you want to take the Pokeball? Or in French it's gonna be prendre la Pokéball. Oui, non. So yes, no. And it's generated 167 frames after pressing yes. That's why the delay is going to be 167. Of course you can calibrate, but as some of you may know because I have mentioned this in the past, the problem kind of is with low level Pokemon, it's very hard to calculate the IVs because they're so low level. The calculator can only give you a range of IVs when it's low level, and that's sometimes you get multiple possibilities when you try to calibrate and look up the list of possible frames that you've hit. But this one I'm not going to calibrate. I do know that the delay is 167. That's been well documented. At least in Ruby it is. In Emerald the frame delay is actually different. So look out for that one. You can also shiny hunt this in Emerald. If you didn't take the Pokeball first, of course. So 10 seconds. Let's see. Reçoit Interal. I don't want to give a name. Oops. It's gonna be genderless either way. So we got a jolly, jovial is a jolly non-shiny, which I obviously don't want. So we're gonna reset again. In this stream I'm not gonna calibrate. At least I do think that calibration with a level 5 Pokemon is a waste of time. You can still get a pretty accurate frame with a nature and IV's lower levels. I do know that, but I really want this this exact frame. I do want a adamant Metagross with 3 perfect IVs. That would be fantastic to have. Especially for the Battle Frontier in Emerald. I still haven't got all gold medals, even though the game has been out for 2 decades almost. In Japan it's been out for 2 decades, starting from this year. It's a very hard challenge, not just because of RNG that's unfair. And I really need a Metagross for that. That's Metagross and Latios are one of, or 2 of the 2-go Pokemon when you wanna win at the Battle Frontier in Emerald. It also, human name with your comment, it depends on the Pokemon. Some Pokemon you can accurately calculate the IVs and others not so much. It really depends on many factors, but usually the lower the level, the harder it is. Jeez, it's 0 degrees now. Was pretty hot for winter a couple of days now, with 8 degrees Celsius, 10 degrees Celsius, and then suddenly it fell down to 1 degree again. Don't like that at all, but then again, I cannot control nature. A lax one. Lush, I think that is lax. Doesn't matter, I'm not gonna calibrate. It's not a shiny, so don't care. Yeah, but I did get a pretty accurate results with Mudkip. Yeah, I mean, yeah. With these starters, I find them, the way their base stats are, I find them to be easier to calculate than other Pokemon. Usually the starters are easier to calculate, and I also had to do that, obviously, with the Pokemon Ruby here, because I RNG'd for a very specific trainer ID and secret ID combination. Actually, that was the video I'm a Blissey did, and I got his ID, the trainer ID. It's 140002, if I'm correct. Have to check again, but it is that. It's just my secret ID is somewhat slightly different than the one he is using in his tutorial, which is interesting. But I still get the shinies at the exact same frames that he got with his. Also, even with the 3 perfect IVs. And I usually get a lot of adamant shinies with this Ruby copy, and with my Sapphire that's just waiting to become RNG'd, I'm gonna choose one that gives me timid or modest natures, because you're gonna be stuck with the natures that your trainer and secret ID basically tell you, because the battery has run dry, so it cannot calculate new ones based on the day, or the seed is always going to be 50A for a Sapphire or Ruby cartridge where the battery is dry. So I'm gonna probably try to get one with a good hidden power type as well. Fufu. Oh, that's great, but it's not shiny. Gonna reset again. That did not register. Do it again. You started with your, didn't you, human name, didn't you do it with Emerald? Didn't you RNG manipulate your trainer ID and secret ID with Emerald? Which is harder to do than on Ruby and Sapphire. I'm a Blissey has also mentioned this, and I can confirm. It's much easier doing that on Ruby and Sapphire than doing it on Emerald. Still worth it, because with Emerald especially, you can actually clone them using the clone glitch. And Emerald usually gives you more choice of random Pokemon you can get. As in more slots than Ruby and Sapphire do, unfortunately, but then again, in Emerald you can also use a synchronizer, which is exactly what I will use this Wednesday. I will use a adamant synchronizer that I have, and that synchronizer is adamant, and that way I can get shinies that I either have to wait 8 minutes for, which is a bit of a long wait time, or I can get them at 3 minutes, which I'm gonna do with the adamant synchronized user. Used Pokehex a lot. Mao couldn't bother reading how to do this. It's not that hard. You just have to. It's a lot of trial and error, and then usually by just doing the RNG process, at the latest you understand how it works then, because it just comes to you naturally. It clicks then, because you get a feeling for it, if that makes sense. Hopefully the pop filter is making the... did I just hit the same frame again? Or does it just have a lot of foo-foo ones? Yeah, the ID is 14002. Hopefully I'll get the Beldum today. I really want to use that one. There's also an XD post-game Colosseums. That's... I mean, the enemies have all perfect IVs in their Pokemon stats. That's already pretty tough. Actually, one of the hardest Pokemon games that ever got made. Interesting because at least that's how I feel, the newest Pokemon games are a bit too hand-holdy for my taste. Did you also see the moon today? How nice it was? Wherever you are located right now. Pretty visible here. I mean, it was a full moon. Already 2 likes, that's pretty great, thank you. Haven't seen it, no, oh, maybe it's too cloudy where you are at, could be. Just assume it's cloudy here. Yeah, it depends, there's places where it's practically cloudy every single day. Let's check it. Nope. Foo-foo again? Alright then. Strange, but... Sky has been... I mean, it did rain in the morning, but after that, after the fog has cleared up, the sky was very open. So I could see the moon in its entire glory, which of course, if you're an amateur astronomer as I am, is pretty nice. And I've been, I visited my cousin today, that was also nice. Seeing what he's up to. I'm glad that they could get a house during this economy. A house in Luxembourg when it has like 4 bedrooms probably costs you, or not probably, usually they cost more than €1 million, which is absolutely insane if you ask me. If I'm gonna pay 1 million of anything, except maybe yen, because 1 million yen isn't 1 million euros, but still. If I have to pay 1 million euros for a normal house, no. If I pay 1 million, I want a villa. I want something big. That's a pretty discerning problem in Luxembourg right now. I mean, pretty much everywhere. The housing crisis just is pretty much almost everywhere, but especially here it's pretty bad. There was a day when it was slightly cloudy, so you could basically see the moon just slightly blurred. I wanted to take a picture, but the camera couldn't catch the same effect. Yeah, I also did that yesterday, and the camera sucks for that. Unfortunately. The resolution of my eye is better than my camera. Lush, so lax again. Now that always sucks. Especially yesterday, the moon was super beautiful, and I could see also the reflection in the river. It was picturesque, picturesque even, but it looked really, really amazing when I watched it with my own eyes. And then I took my phone out. I wanted to take a picture, but looks really blurry, like you said, human name. You need special equipment for that, or maybe there's camera things that you could install or do to make it look better. But I've never been able to achieve that with a phone. At least I have an iPhone. iPhone 50 actually the camera is pretty good, but always when I try to show people what I saw in the night sky, it just every single camera has failed me. Except telescopes, but those weren't mine. Those were telescopes, pretty good telescopes from the amateur astronomer club that I'm in, and that wasn't mine. So I don't have a telescope with me at all times. I just want to be able to take a good picture of the moon. I just can't get to do that with just using a phone. Maybe some guys here in the live stream know that maybe there's something you can put on the lens to see it better, or maybe there's a technique I haven't used. Not a photographer and not a professional one. So maybe there's some knowledge that I should know that would help. Then again, I'm always open for any new tips regarding that. Okay, lush again. Interesting. And yes, the thing with the Latias, Latios, always having hidden power finding is because the IVs are terrible. It seems that if you have really bad IVs in a lot of stats, then that raises your odds of, usually that means it's probably gonna be hidden power fighting. If you play around with Pokéhacks, should you have the program, and you make a Pokemon from scratch and you give it really bad IVs, then you can see what I mean. You could prove it to yourself. Since the hidden power type in-game is determined by the IVs, there's a very specific formula that they're using. I don't know the formula by heart, but it is on Bulbapedia in case you're interested. I absolutely hate the fact that phones are bad at night. Oh yeah, I really hate it as well with a passion. I wanted to take a picture of a really beautiful Aurora Borealis and it sucked. Oh, that sucks, but seeing that in person, that is a bucket list worthy thing. That's just absolutely amazing to see with your own eyes, and not being able to take a good picture, yeah, that would make me angry as well. Sadly, I don't have the budget right now to buy a telescope like the ones they have in my amateur astronomer club, because if you really want a good telescope, you're gonna start with 5,000 euros. That's a lot of money. Why did I open the Pokédex? Right, are you shiny? No, but you're lush again. They probably aren't rare here. Yeah, it depends on where you live, obviously. Where I am, in Luxembourg, they're very rare. I mean, we did have them recently, but that was because the sun is at a maximum, and the sun always has a cycle of about 11 years, where the activity goes from not so strong to very strong, a maximum and then a minimum again, and then a maximum again. So it was at a maximum now, and that's where there were a lot of solar particles clashing with the magnetic force field that the Earth has. And that's how we got Aurora Borealis in Luxembourg a couple of weeks ago. That was very strange to see, but then again I was happy because then I don't have to travel to some faraway northern European country to witness these again. But should they ever become really strong, the solar particles, the solar wind, then we do risk getting some... I mean, there can be things that can happen that can really be problematic if you know about the Tunguska event, for example. Strong solar wind could essentially not start a apocalypse, but it will fry a lot of our satellites, if not every single satellite, if the solar wind is strong enough. Jolly again. And imagine the whole world not having internet for a while. That would be kind of problematic, wouldn't it? So it wouldn't be a apocalypse. I just reset way too early. It wouldn't be a apocalypse per se, but it would be very problematic. A Tunguska event. Not the Tunguska event, sorry, that was a meteorite. Was it 1888? I mean, a long time ago. But where there was such a strong solar wind that all the electric cables got fried from that. Tunguska event is something else, where over Tunguska, a part of Russia, a meteorite exploded. Or bolide then, to be more accurate, and there were thousands of trees that just fell over like dominoes, and they got burned as well. No, I was referring to the event. I think it was 1888, but I could be mistaken. Where there were really harsh solar winds, and they just fried the electric currents that we had when it started. I mean, it wasn't as problematic back then, because that's when we just started getting used to electricity and using it in larger scale operations. But imagine if this happened today. The whole internet would be down. And maybe some infrastructure would be fried. Electrical cables, satellites, so your GPS on your phone or your car would not work. Imagine what chaos that would ensure. Not trying to scare people, obviously, but that could maybe happen in the future. Keep wondering if that will happen within my lifetime or not. So, could still happen. Friend watched a guy get hit by a car. Whoa, oh, that's horrible. Rest in peace, yeah. Well, that's gotta be traumatic. For your friend as well. Unfortunately, the car fatalities or pedestrian fatalities the numbers have gone up because of SUVs. Turns out SUVs are much more deadly for pedestrians. I mean, I thought it was going to be obvious, but apparently it isn't. It's also a problem. Anyway, good luck. I'll be on in a bit. Yeah, thank you. Maybe gonna raid, I don't know how long I'm a Blissey will stream, but he did get a, he has a thing going on when he gets more members. When he gets 5 members, he makes his stream longer for 1 hour. And he did get that. Oh, an Audi SUV. Oh. I mean, depends on the velocity the car was traveling at, but at a certain velocity, even a smart car will kill you. That's just physics, right? And people underestimate the enormous energy that gets released when you drive a bit faster. That really, sometimes it's just 15 kilometers per hour difference that can make a difference of life and death. I don't think people are I don't think they can grasp that fact, how dangerous speeding can be. Your body is going to lose if a 1-ton metal brick hits you at 60 kilometers per hour. You're done. Also, don't wear too dark clothes when it's dark out there so people can see you. Okay, I seem to be hitting the same frames over and over again, or at least maybe clone frames. Keep getting jolly and lax and quirky, which is fufu. Isn't power squared with speed? Yeah, it is because of the squared 2, yeah. So it doesn't, it's not linear, it's quadratic. And trust me, quadratic means the power goes up by quite a lot the faster you go. Not linearly, but exponentially, because it is, the formula has an exponent, so in to the power of 2, and you do not mess with things in nature that exponentially become bigger. You just don't. Bacteria growth is another example, where you can have, if you wait a couple of minutes, you can have trillions of bacteria. If you calculate how, what is the rate of cell copying, or how much the bacteria can copy or make. I mean, children it's not the same process as mammals have, where they mate and they mix the genes, and then the child's gonna be a mixture of the dad and the mother, with the child having the mitochondria of the mom. And no, that's not how bacteria works. They reproduce by dividing themselves. And that usually means, oh yeah, the population doubles every so and so minutes. And that gets larger exponentially, so you can wait a couple of minutes and then you have many more bacteria than previously, which is important if you want to keep things clean. People underestimate that as well. Terhal. I completely forgot that was the okay, a jolly again. Just going to his house and taking that Pokeball. I mean, it is a gift, okay, but yeah, one bacteria can become millions in little time. It's really scary if you do the math how fast that actually how fast they can spread. If it doubles every 1 minute, then doubling is okay. When you only have one bacteria and it doubles, then you're gonna have two. But if you have 120 and they double, then it increases at a higher rate, faster and faster. So what I said before with not linear growth, but exponential growth. That's also why they used to use, I think they still do that. They have brass door hinges, because bacteria usually cannot survive for too long on brass metal. So that means the handle is gonna be antibacterial, which is pretty good for something that many humans touch often. Also, if you consider when you disinfect your hands, that usually a very, very small fraction of bacteria will still survive. It was also copper. I think both have these properties. But copper is gonna be more expensive than brass. Jolly again, jolly fellow, but I don't want a jolly fellow, I want a shiny adamant one. There's several metals that are in that way antibacterial. There's just surfaces where bacteria can grow faster, and there's surfaces that I do believe copper and brass are toxic to most bacteria, so they can't. I mean, they still can live on it, but they will probably die out before the culture can become larger. There's also a lot of bacteria on your skin, but you're gonna need that. I know some clean freaks would maybe freak out at the thought of them having more bacteria on their own body than there's humans on planet Earth, but they do work with you. That's called a symbiosis. It's not always bad. There's also very important bacteria in your gut that regulate a lot of things. So they're not always foes. Sometimes bacteria are friend. Sometimes if you have a bacterium that you have in your intestines, if you have that on your skin, that could become a problem. So sometimes it depends on where the bacteria, what kind is it, and where is it usually found. Because gut bacteria should not be on your skin. It has to be in the gut. For example, Escherichia coli, some Americans say coli. E. coli, also abbreviated as E. coli. Very good to have in your guts because it plays a very important function with breaking down food. But very bad on other places. It can give you nasty infections. Hey there, Crimsy. I'm new to the stream. Welcome to the stream. Hey, I'm here. Sorry I'm late. I was watching the movie Friday. No problem, James. I'm glad you could make it. Ah, a docile one. Or docile, because it's French. But not shiny, so we reset. Yeah, just saying bacteria is bad is very stupid, scientifically speaking, because you always have to see in what context do you mean it, where are they at, what kind of bacteria is it. Did I miss anything? No, you didn't. Still haven't gotten the shiny, but I'm gonna try as long as I have to. Not gonna calibrate because it's low level and I don't see the need for that. I do think that I'm gonna get it this stream. Hopefully. So, Crimsy, I think it should be pronounced Crimzy or Crimzed. Depends on where you are from. How did you find the stream, or are you a subscriber of mine? Of course, I always welcome everyone to the stream. Just always interested how people find my stuff. Oh, and James, I was talking, for some reason I was talking about bacteria because I was talking about exponential growth. And I mentioned bacteria because that's usually when you calculate. Maybe some of you guys had a exercise at high school where you had to calculate how many bacteria were left after a certain time. My card declined when I tried to buy a Twix #unemployed life. Yeah, I know how that feels. Really not good. Although I am on a German site to buy second-hand things. Docile again. Okay. I just put something. Just clicked hard, as in I want to see, kind of keep that purse in mind. The thing is, that purse cost over 400 euros. It's a Gucci purse. Of course, I don't need it. Obviously not. But I sometimes put these on lists and then I wait maybe a few years. Sometimes they go down considerably. And the lady asked me, hey, am I interested? You can buy it right now. And I'm like, yeah, I am interested, but I'm unemployed. I cannot afford a purse like that before money comes in. And even then, that's not the first priority. But I know how that feels when you buy something small and then your card gets declined. And then you're like, oh, God, that's not nice. Not a nice situation to be in. Got £100 saved, but I don't want to use it. Oh, so you're down to £100 now in savings? Because, yeah, I would suggest if that's all you have in savings, then keep them. I also have a savings account where I did not touch that money for decades. It's used for a rainy day, or maybe... I mean, it was meant to be as a help when I want to buy a house with my husband or build one, but of course my parents could have never known beforehand that the housing crisis would be as terrible as it is right now. So even if I have a rainy day fund, that's not going to be enough for anything like that, not even as a start capital for loans for the bank. It's not enough, which sucks, but still got lucky. I have family that supports me. Not everyone has that. It's a bizarre one, just like me. I had to book the flight for April and my phone bill was pretty expensive because I used it abroad. I think you should change your phone bill thing because you're paying a lot, James, aren't you? A bit much. I mean, you did show me your phone bills, and maybe the UK, maybe it's more expensive in the UK. I don't know that, right? But I'm not paying nearly as much as you do for my phone, and I have so many unlimited things, and you don't. So I don't know. Maybe the phone contract offers aren't as good in the UK. Can't talk about that because I have no knowledge of that. How much does a decent house cost? Here one costs around 500,000 euros. A decent house here costs about... I mean, it depends on where. When it's close to the capital city of Luxembourg, which we also called Luxembourg, so the capital city has the exact same name as the country. That can be confusing sometimes for foreigners, but anything there or in the south is gonna cost you at least 800,000 euros. But then again, you have to pay more than 1 million because you're gonna get a loan from the bank. Unless you have 800,000 euros lying around, then obviously you're not gonna have or run into problems. But then again, you're pretty rich if you have that kind of cash lying around. So you have to get a bank loan, and the interest rates are so freaking high right now that you end up paying more than 1 million euros for a okay house that most of the time still has problems. You still have to do renovations, and when these renovations are going to cost more than 100,000 euros, so you end up paying more than 1 million, and that's just too much. Unless my financial situation will change drastically in the future, I think I'm just gonna probably be a renter for the rest of my life, because I don't want to pay 1 million euros for and be in deep debt for the rest of my life to have a very small house that isn't even in top condition. I feel that is just a horrible deal. Sounds fun, yeah. There's a mass exodus of Luxembourgish people, young Luxembourgers like me and my husband, basically fleeing the country, but not because there's war or anything, but just because we cannot afford to live here. Luxembourg is really expensive in a lot of things, not everything, but having to, I mean, if you go into debt for 1 million, you already have to pay for over 3,000 euros for 30 years at least. And then you have to see, what do I get for that? And I don't want a broken house for that. That's just insane. So usually what young Luxembourgers do, they go live in France or in Belgium or in Germany, because the rent is much lower there, also the buying prices. Which is also, they're going up, and then sometimes that can happen where the Germans or the French or the people from Belgium, they blame us, even though it's not our fault that we drive up the prices there. It's our politicians being in bed basically with landlords and other building companies, and they refuse to address the situation properly. That's where the anger should be directed towards, not the young Luxembourgers like my husband and I, or others who have to flee the country. I mean, I don't have to flee. I got my parents who helped me. That's already a huge privilege. I know so many people around my age that don't have that privilege. So it's already even harder than it needs to be. Went to music flea market today, so spent a good amount there, unfortunately. And then I see 2 message retracted. Okay. That's not a shiny. I mean, yeah, I would like to live in the country somewhere where I don't have to pay. I wouldn't need to have help from my parents in order to be able to afford anything, right? And people leave here because we have few PhDs here to study, not the housing crisis isn't helping. Yeah, that usually makes it worse as well. In August my phone contract ends and I won't have to pay that much anymore. Oh well, at least there's that. Phone contracts are very pretty not expensive, not as expensive as in other countries. In Luxembourg they're actually somewhat cheap. It's a real problem though. Just sometimes when I go and walk somewhere in Luxembourg and there's a agency that shows what they have, I always check, but it's always, oh, you have 1 million for this shack. Oh, it's large, okay, but it needs like a $250,000 euro worth of renovations. You're gonna be full of debt for the rest of your life just to live, just to have your own place. And I don't want to go into debt for something like that. Maybe I could buy a house in one of the abandoned villages. Maybe I can go a house for 50 euros. I mean, in Italy, you can, there's some places where you can get housing for super cheap. But then again, you need to invest into renovating it. Italy has a pretty strong brain drain right now. Jovial again. And the visual part on Eontimer isn't showing for some reason. Yeah, it's pretty tough being unemployed in Luxembourg right now. If I didn't have my family helping me, it'd be pretty hard. Even harder than it is right now for me. Welcome back, Shiny Rayquaza. Aren't there places in Italy that will give you a house for free if you promise to have kids? Yeah, there are some, even though, I mean, usually these are villages where the villages are half empty and there's not really anything there. But they're doing that because people are fleeing the villages in Italy, and usually well-educated Italians just they usually don't stay in Italy. They usually move out to Germany or other countries in Europe. Guess I'm getting kids. Yeah, but you better learn Italian then. If you want to live there, it's better to know the language. And the houses that you get are really, they are ruins, right? They are in really bad shape, and you get a house for free, that's technically correct, but you need to you have to invest a bit into it to make it livable. Sometimes it's just a housing, no electrical work has been done, no pipes have been installed, so no running water, no hot water, nothing. Yeah, Italy is a nice place to live. Honestly, if SHIT goes to if everything goes to SHIT in Luxembourg and it just becomes worse and worse, I might consider going to Italy as well. Okay, you're not showing the audio visual. If I click this, will you be good to me, program? No? You're gonna do stupid shit? Okay. And I just said it out loud. I'm gonna get banned now. Sorry, guys. I'm joking. Okay, please do not tick. You wanna pop. That's better. There we go. Why is this program always having problems? And oh, it does show up now. Okay. To learn Italian, all you need to know is pizza, spaghetti, and it's a Mario time. You just need to talk with your hands, and they'll understand, right? Oh yeah, Italian beaches are nice as well. Not like French beaches where there's no sand. That's just huge rocks. Not as fun. Gonna marry an Italian woman, probably. Gonna love her. What? She, I don't know, probably. That I've no idea who put the emotion or the emoji thing where the chat is, because sometimes I can't see what the last word is in a certain paragraph. Oh my GIF. British beaches are also rocks. They're cold rocks. At least in southern France you got warm rocks and not cold rocks. Italian nude beaches. Yeah, there's parts of, not just in Italy, but in many European countries you have nude beaches. But don't use these to just check out people, because that is not welcome there. You don't go there to do that, right? You're there just to not be. I mean, there's a whole culture thing in Germany they call FKK, so FKK, Freikörperkultur, free body culture, where they just are naked. Personally, not exactly a fan of it, but lax again, lush. Omni, my eyes have minds on their own. Yeah, I know, but you know what can happen with men to their bodies when they are in that mindset, and if they see that there on the beat, you're gonna get thrown out very quickly. So do keep that in mind. And usually on these beaches, where everyone's naked, it's not what you picture. It's not the hottest people that are there. Sorry to disappoint you. I mean, they don't have any obligation to be hot to anyone. They just want to go there to enjoy the beach, and that's it. But nude beaches is pretty... Isn't that a weird thing to Americans? Must be quite a culture shock. Normal beaches will suffice, yeah. And they're very good in Italy. The sand is good. It's pretty clean. It also depends on when you go. During peak tourist season, obviously it's gonna be not as tidy, because there's still enough idiots in the world that need to throw away their trash on the beach, and apparently they're too dumb to see that there's a bin a couple of meters from them. Especially when they throw away glass bottles. That just makes me really angry. If they're broken, then a child could really hurt. They can get really, really hurt with that. All I gotta do is work on my torso and have the body of a god. Foo again. Because since I lift stuff all the time, my arms are good enough. Well, I can, yeah. And my legs are marvelous, so you didn't skip leg day, good. Completely forgot to say, I'm thinking about going back to college in September. I've got to go to in 2 weeks. Look at different apprenticeship, but I'm not sure what class I want to take yet. Well, I mean, you still have enough time to reflect on that, don't you? But that's good to hear, James. What am I talking about? I am a god. A god among men. Have to find temporary work until September, which might mean retail again. I mean, I'm at the point where I might also go into retail, because they won't hire me in IT. Oh well, let's see. I'm doing my stuff, not doing anything wrong. But then again, the economy right now is really bad. I know so many people who just can't. Gotta wait until it's done. Wonder if this will should I go live again when the internet's back? Oh, I think it is back again. Hey guys, can you hear me now? Is the internet working again? Maybe I'll refresh. Ah, okay, we're back again. Sorry guys, our internet died for some reason. It's stream dead, it's just me. No, our internet died for a couple of minutes. It seems to be back online again. RIP stream, it came back. Yeah, thank you for telling them, Cosmicam. Joined at the perfect time. Welcome back, Arch. How have you been? Hey, Cosmicam, are you Omni's husband or something? Yeah, he is. I mean, it fixed itself. Can hear you, that's good. And yes, he is a great person. That's why I put a ring on him immediately. I'll let you use my hotspot, but I'm in England and no idea what happened. Just suddenly I was offline and then the chat wouldn't load. And then I noticed, oh wait, the apartment's internet has gone down. Sometimes the router that we have does a update at the most inconvenient times, even though I've programmed it to not do that, but here we go. I think it did that again, but the stream is back up again, so that's what matters. I have infinite mobile data, but it's pretty bad. I mean, I have that as well for my phone, but then again, I'm not streaming from my phone, I'm streaming from my computer, and my computer is connected to LAN, L-A-N, and the router was probably doing an update and then it goes offline for a couple of minutes, and that's probably what happened. Yeah, it's very annoying. It sometimes does that at the worst times ever. Even though I programmed it and told it to not do that, but I think our router got an update, yeah, did. Delete my own comments, sorry if I worried you. No, I just was wondering, I mean, you are allowed to delete them, but been someone else comment would have had their name next to it. As long as it's me, it's fine. I've unlimited mobile data too, as well as unlimited calls and text, even though I don't talk to many people. Same. I do have friends who refuse to have a smartphone, so I have to call or text them. Kinda understand that, because they really don't like the way social media works right now. Bonjour, yeah, bonjour, Arch. How have you been today? I ain't got my volume on, so I can't hear. You better do that then. I've been thinking about getting a mobile phone instead of a smartphone. I mean, I do have actual friends who refuse to get a smartphone because they say it makes them so nervous, and just the idea of having to be available 24/7 is toxic and stressful to them, and they get ridiculed for that, even though I do understand what they're talking about and I do understand why they're doing it. So I don't blame them. My mom is taking forever in the shower. I have somewhat of a problem. Sometimes it just takes so long to start with the shower, but then once I am in the shower, it takes forever to get out. That is weird. I love taking hot showers. Not having a phone means I don't have access to the outside, meaning I get stressed because it's just me and my thoughts. Yeah, that's also... I mean, different people can have wildly different reasons why they do or don't have a thing, and usually I do find them to be valid. Because it really depends on who you are, what your situation is. It's interesting that there's so much variety in that. Yeah, that's also better to be connected when you're in a situation like you are, Shiny Rayquaza. You understand that? I get a shower 48 to 50 degrees average. I guess you mean degrees Celsius. Relax. Alright, Toodaloo, literally quickest arch appearance ever. Gonna have dinner. Enjoy your meal. I'm getting hard on a game, been grinding since 9 AM. My time so far about 8 hours. Dang, that is dedication. So, thank you still for being here, even though it's just been a couple of minutes. One high is usually enough, that makes me happy. So, enjoy your meal. And have fun with your grinding. This is completely random and off topic. Hey, I also have a ping pong mind sometimes, so no problem. But because of your sensory issues, do you also hate the dentist? Who doesn't hate the dentist? I only know a couple of people who like the dentist is overdoing it, but they don't mind the dentist, and all these people are people that you could slap them and they wouldn't say ouch, so that already explains why they don't mind the dentist. But yeah, I actually, you know what's funny, James? The high pitch of the God, now the word isn't coming to mind. Jeez, what's wrong with me today? The drill, oh Jesus. The drill, the high-pitched noise of that is worse than how it feels on your teeth. At least to me. It's just the sound of that is horrible, I hate it. And usually, should I need to get a tooth drilled, then he gives me a medication so that I don't feel it. I mean the drill that they use to remove cavities. Jovial again. But that's where my massive started. Yeah, I think that's the only kind of people that like going to the dentist. Almost everyone I know is very scared of the dentist, and that includes 2 meter something soldiers who are really, really tense and badass people. And even they are like, oh no, I got to go to the dentist, I hate it, I'm scared, because obviously it's not a pleasant experience. But when you got sensory issues like I do, then obviously it's gonna be even worse. But do not neglect your teeth health. Do not neglect your oral health. It's gonna bite you in the butt later, and not with your teeth, because your teeth are going to hurt then. And if you have great pain in your teeth area, that pain is really disgusting. You know how there's different kinds of pains, where some pains are tolerable even if they are pretty high, and with pretty high I'm thinking 6 out of 10, where 0 is I don't feel any pain and 10 is I want to perish, I can't take this anymore. And usually teeth pain is very, very quickly in the oh god, I don't want this anymore part of pain. Grind for like 10 hours average if I'm into a game. I did that. I played Sonic Adventure 2 Battle once as a child for 12 hours. And I had auditory hallucinations. I heard the music of the game and the sound effects, even though I wasn't playing. And I slept horribly. I've never done that again because I start hallucinating and hearing the sounds of the game. Not fun. Really not fun. Broke my front teeth because of my dad's horses. Oh, I have big respect for horses. They are so strong and they could, you know, make you perish very, very, very quickly. They are very strong. Don't underestimate horses. You had exposed nerves. Ooh, that has to hurt. No offense, but I think Omni's fans are mainly Misfits. I guess I'm a Misfit in a way as well, so maybe I attract more. Used to the dentist, used to go there monthly because I had braces. Oh yeah, I also had braces. Luckily I don't anymore, but I was like, what, 13, 14? Might research a way to give myself schizophrenia. Why do you want to give yourself schizophrenia? I know people who have it and usually they express the desire to not have it. I have to pick up branches and leaves full of thorns, so I'm pretty tolerable to pain. Yeah, I guess your skin is also thicker than mine in the hand because you do a lot of work with your hands while I don't. I wrestle horses, Omni. Yeah, well then there you go. As a child I'd leave the Wii menu on as background music, but then I hear it even when the TV was off. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. They're kind of weak. Depends on the horse, but do not underestimate horse powers. RDC stuff sometimes, so why not just have it constantly? No, because it can give you visions that aren't pleasant, and imagine that you have visions or voices like this every single day and you can't control them. At least that's what schizophrenic people that I know have told me what it's like, and that I just feel so bad for them. Crazy voices. I mean, if you have voices in your head, that doesn't necessarily mean that you're schizophrenic, right? There's other things to consider, but you can also have intrusive thoughts without being schizophrenic. Jolly again. My dark humor put me into laughing fit at the schizophrenia comment. Oh well, yeah, your humor is so dark, it has less rights in America, right? That's... Once rambling, I got the thought to wash my hands in blood. Why though? With blood, I'm not scared of blood, but usually what comes to mind when I see blood somewhere and it's not mine, I'm always like, oh, don't touch it because it can contaminate you. You never know what that person has. And then I see on horror movies where they just touch things where there's blood, and I'm like, what if he has HIV? Then you might have it as well. What if he has any STDs? You might have it as well. I just think of that like a nurse does, I guess. Visions like Raven. Raven? Autosolution. Omni gonna get banned? You don't need to tell it, but Yeah, your humor is so dark American cops would shoot it, yeah. Oh, that's very dark humor. But what's that raven thing? Is that a comic character? Oh, that's a raven, right, right. But then again, I didn't watch that. Six viewers right now, 5 likes, that is good. Also self-harm. Yeah, that's did see that with other people, where I saw that they had scars on their arms. Always hope that they are at a better place mentally now than they were back then when they did that. Still no shiny. Did the Raven show have a different name in German? Probably, and I didn't watch it, so... Wasn't it live action? Might just be me, but I think scars are hot. Oh, you're not the only one. I do know a couple of people who think scars are hot. Yeah, I know, obviously, but usually people think scars are hotter on men than they are on women, which is, I mean, I guess I kind of understand the viewpoint, but it's good that there are people that think that's hot. Just like that, I think it's good that there are people out there that like chubby or very fat people, because there are always, or right now there's always going to be people that are obese, even though if they eat correctly, some of them, not all obviously, but some of them have health issues that make it so that they are always going to be overweight. And these people also deserve to be loved or viewed in a way that their partner says, I think you're attractive. So in that way I'm happy that people like that exist, because they also deserve that, should they never become skinny or, I guess, normal. Don't remember if you have Claire's accessories in Germany or Luxembourg. There was a Claire's in Esch in Luxembourg that is closed now, and there used to be a Claire's in Trier in Germany that's, I think, also closed now. But I remember many years ago at Halloween they used to do fake scars. Oh, so yeah, makeup. Believe it or not, I used to be romantic once. Yeah, you told me. I remember these memes got my first piercing at Claire's, and then they escalated and they said I sold my soul at Claire's. Yeah, we used to have, I mean, I think there's still a couple of Claire's left in Germany, but then again, Germany is huge, and I can't just say, hey, I'm gonna drive from Luxembourg to Berlin. No, that will take a long time. Maybe there's one in Luxembourg City somewhere. But the one that was in Esch is not there anymore. They closed. Thing with scar tissue is that you're always gonna feel you have scars, yeah. I have scars that are barely visible and still itch like hell sometimes. Yeah, that can happen. That can be a problem actually, yeah. Also depends, there's people who who get less scars and that it's just a genetic thing. And then there's people who have a mental health issue where scars develop and they're extremely noticeable. It also depends on what kind of scar it is. Right, 10 seconds. What? It's 23 soon already? What? Where did that time go? Scars on my wrist because Sophie slipped off my desk and caught my arm when I tried to catch her. Oh, that had to hurt. Jovial again. A bunch of scars because I was a dumbass when I was 2. I have a scar on my left arm now that you can't see too much because luckily I'm just very, very light skinned. I know you can't see me right now, but I'm a naturally blonde person with a very fair skin. So you don't really see it, but I got a little scar on my left arm because of I was a dumbass, but I was not 2 like you were. That was last year because I was so clumsy and I mean, it is what it is. It doesn't vanish now, but then again, it's white and I am already very, very white to begin with. She's fine though, she does it all the time. At least that, yeah. I think every cat owner knows how fast a scratch can come. Hey there, Billy Nonak, how have you been? Welcome to the stream. Glad you could make it. Till now there's still no shiny. And apparently I'm already streaming for almost 2 hours at this point, which is so strange. Because it didn't feel like that. How did you get the scar? I don't even know how to explain how I got it. I closed a window and I scratched myself at the corner of a furniture piece that I have in my childhood bedroom. That's how I got it. Very stupid, I know, but I'm very clumsy. My motor skills aren't the best. And you're not shiny. Lame. I have a scar on my hand because I grabbed the knife by the blade. Ouch. And that my mom was holding. Ouch. Yeah, that hurts. My mom was shocked and pulled the knife away. Yeah, that's... Sometimes the shock makes it worse, but then again, that's not your fault, right? I'm good. I have today off. Oh, that's nice. I met with my friend early. That's also nice. And all my classes work is super easy. The weather is lovely too. Perfect time to watch your stream. Ah, that makes me happy. That's really nice to read. Yeah, I visited my cousin before. He's doing good. Enter this chat. Strangest times femboy? Huh? I should be... I just, I kind of missed that. I should be a femboy. You can be whatever you want, as long as it makes you happy. I literally do not care about things like these. Never understood, even as a child, when I had, obviously gay, boys in my class that liked to play with dolls, and they loved to comb my hair. And I never understood what the deal was, why other boys bullied that guy, because what's the What's the deal? I mean, he is very feminine, but so what? Never understood what the problem with that was. Bro, my mind does marvelous things and being a femboy seems like a valid option. That is a valid option though, yeah. What's the first time she scratched me in 14 years, but it wasn't intentional. Yeah, Nero also unintentionally scratched me before. Because he was falling off my, my lap. Okay, Ardi this time, but that's still not a shiny. I mean, as long as you're old enough and happy, Ray, lol, 15 is a valid age. Guess you can be a teenage femboy, yeah? After all, femboy isn't defined by age. At least I don't think so. My sister had Action Man dolls, if you know what they are. Yeah, my brother had them. They were really huge back then, when I was a child. I know exactly what you mean. He even had a show, a 3D animated show. I did know a couple of moms who watched Action Man with their sons, but just because they thought Action Man was hot. Can't blame them. Friend met up with bought a My Melody notebook. Ah, I see. I know My Melody. I thought that it was awesome that a guy was comfortable enough to buy something feminine. Yeah, I mean, I never understood what the deal was. I also had once I used to have a classmate that was nice to me. She was a very male presenting woman. She wasn't trans or anything. She was just a woman who dressed like a man. And I never saw the problem. And once people just asked her, yeah, why do you do this? And I just said, yeah, what's the problem? And they couldn't say any argument why it is a problem, because she never heard me with that. She even thought I was not gonna like her because I usually dress very femininely. But I don't care how other people dress, as long as it's, you know, not too indecent, I guess. Depends on the situation, but I do not care if you want to dress like the opposite gender. Do what you want. I don't got the complexion to be a femboy. Oh, being too broad, is that... Oh, there it is! Shiny! Shiny Beldum. Finally. There it is. I hit the correct frame. We got it. Very good. And we immediately save, because that's when you do when you have a shiny. Isn't it wonderful? Ta-da! So, rigide, which is adamant. And it's silver. Congrats, yeah, thanks, finally got it. Let's show it off in the overworld. I'll go somewhere where there's low level Pokemon. Praise RNG, yes, I've been blessed. I've had an Action Man PC game on Windows 2000 that really puts me back. Somewhere I have a photo of my sister's childhood guinea pig, Scumpy, in an Action Man truck, and I still laugh at it now. That's very cute. I need to see that picture. There we go. Shiny. Whether Omni is talking about my comment, it's a shiny. Has that happened multiple times? Maybe you should try that a bit more, a bit more often. Just like last night. Oh yeah, you're right. So, checking if oh, he's not online anymore, so we can't fortunately no raid for tonight. But yeah, finally got it. Gonna call it quits for today or tonight. And tomorrow we will hunt one of the Reggies, and I'm gonna check what the state of the poll is. So, right, so there's I guess a problem. Regirock is 14% and Regice is also 14%, so it's either gonna be one of these two. If that doesn't change, I think I have to flip a coin then. Then you need to trust me that it's correct. But yeah, thank you for attending the stream. Good night to you guys as well. And then we're gonna see or hear each other tomorrow at 21:30 or 9:30 p.m. European time or Central European time. So make sure to be there. See you then, and until next time, bye bye.